And it took me by surprise. In fact, I never had any interest in Islam at all. I thought that Muslims were grumpy Arabs. In fact, I was in Singapore as a tourist. I was there for a seminar. I was looking around like a typical tourist in the city, and I came across a mosque for the first time. And it's the first time in my life I've ever stood in front of a mosque. I guess I've seen photos of them before, maybe in movies and stuff, but this is the first time I had seen one up close. And it was beautiful, the big Sultan Mosque in Singapore City, bright and colourful. And I remember noticing how different it felt compared to a church. For those of you who've been to churches, they're often dark and gloomy and cold. And I just had this feeling that the mosque was bright and colourful, and it seemed almost inviting. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I heard the azan, the Islamic call to prayer. And it brought me to tears. I'd never heard it before. I didn't even know what the words were, but there's something beautiful about that call to prayer. It's an invitation from God to come and worship Him. I was fortunate that I was with a couple of local Singaporeans who turned out to be Muslim. I had no idea that they were Muslims, actually, and they noticed how I'd been touched by hearing the azan, and I went. They offered to take me inside the mosque and to have a look. So I went inside, and I'm looking around, and I noticed just the complete contrast to what I was used to as a Catholic. No crosses, no statues, no candles. It wasn't dark, it was filled with light, it was colourful, and there were all these brothers coming in, lining up in really super straight lines, ready for prayer. And it was a beautiful experience. I just noticed that there were people of all sorts of shapes and colours and sizes, black, brown, white, yellow, chubby, skinny, fat, tall, skinny, short, everything. And they were lined up together in these perfectly straight lines as a brotherhood. It was just such a beautiful experience for me to feel the humbleness of the way that Muslims pray. It's such a humbling experience to put your head down and prostrate on the ground, something I've never done before. And I remember thinking to myself that if you were brought up on an island and you had never had any interaction with other humans before, and you saw Muslims pray, you would know instinctively that they were worshipping God.